Pronto. Marco, we are live. Welcome to another episode of the Project 90 podcast. My name is Antonio, and I'm here with, as always, El Jefe in the Jamaica jersey, Marco Munoz. Marco, how you doing today, brother?
Doing great, baby. I'm ready to do this.
That's what I love to hear, man. Look, in honor of the World Cup, we've been talking about this. In honor of the World Cup ending, we thought we'd do a fun one today. Talk about some things here. I'm going to lay it out before we get into it. The end of an era, Marco. A lot of legends this tournament. We saw them in their last World Cup, possibly the last time in their international jersey. We're just going to touch on that, some of our favorite memories from them. We're going to go over the best 11 that FIFA put out. We're going to go over the players they picked, maybe throw in some notable mentions, kind of shift it around a little bit. I think there's some players maybe that missed out on that. We'll go over that. Also, the biggest flop from this tournament, right? Some of these teams did not do as well as we thought. We'll go over that. Most shocking performance from an underdog, who we thought wasn't going to do anything and ended up doing a lot. Okay, that's a fun one right there. And then we'll close it out, Marco. World Cup. Managers in, managers out, right? We saw a lot of managers resign, a lot of new ones coming in. We'll go over that. And then as a special way to end this episode, me and Marco actually went to the San Jose Earthquakes game last night, second half of the season starting. We saw them come up against Orlando City, and we saw
Griezmann,
a very, very special player, Antoine Griezmann, make his debut, and did not go well for San Jose Earthquakes. So stick around to the end. We'll go over that. But first, Marco, let's talk about this. This World Cup, 2026. Sounds like a crazy number to be saying. I started watching the World Cup in like 2002. It's the end of an era, man. Ronaldo, Modric, Memo Ochoa, Messi, De Bruyne, a few others, right? It's kind of crazy. Remember when they all made their debuts, their first World Cups? It's almost felt like for a while there, we were just getting used to seeing them, but it's just ended as quick as it started, right? What memories do you have? Anything in particular of these players? Any comments? Any sort of things that stuck out maybe this tournament or in previous tournaments about these players?
well, it's going to be the end of an era for a lot of them. And for like Cristiano Ronaldo, Luka Modric, Manuel Neuer,
Yep, it's another one.
potentially Messi, right? Potentially Messi. I think when all these guys kicked off their World Cup journeys, I don't think we were thinking that we're gonna be seeing these guys 4 or 5 World Cups in, right?
Yeah,
Because the processes, coaches like this, coaches like that. But man, these guys in particular, they were just able to sustain playing football at the highest level for club and country. And it's bittersweet to see them because, I mean, you would have wanted all of them to lift up the trophy. Modric and Ronaldo for me in particular. Because we talk about a lot of golden generations, but we don't talk about the Croatian generation, golden generation, so-called golden generation that they had, right?
right.
They were studs.
They
Couple
were,
World
man.
Cups ago, consistently fighting for those top spots. So bittersweet, end of an era. You would have wanted them to win a chip, or just I don't know, man. Just see them up top as
Yeah.
number ones. But for me, the guy that I'm gonna miss seeing is obviously my goats, my number one, Cristiano Ronaldo. So
Yes.
yeah, man.
Yeah. Ronaldo, man, that's a big one. You know, he never got the chance to play in a final, but you can't deny that he made Portugal pretty much who they are, put them on the map in these past couple years. You know, in 2000 and I have it written down here, noted 2018, it was when he did it against Spain. He scored a hat trick in the group. And it's just moments like that where, you know, lifted the Euro Cup. Obviously, it's not the World Cup, but won the Nations League, did a lot for his country. And he makes it known, right, in his interviews. He's like, Portugal, before Ronaldo, had 0 trophies. With Ronaldo, they had 3 trophies. So it's a big deal, man. And there's obviously a huge debate. Messi, Ronaldo, both of them, potentially, this is the last World Cup. Messi, we still haven't heard for sure, but for Ronaldo, it is. Either way, though, man, they've just changed the game, right? I think now in hindsight, it's easier to say like how lucky we were to even see both of them at the same time, right?
Yeah, let's not forget Neymar, right?
Neymar as well. My
He's
God.
he's been on an uphill climb like the past 5, 6 years, right? Injuries. He just can't get his stuff together. I mean, what do you say when you come limping into the season? You're gonna end up limping out of the season, right? And for him,
Yeah,
that's what the tournament was. He came limping in, he limped his way out. So, unfortunate for him as well. Such a superstar coming up. And the honorable mention, one and done, but Vozinha, we're never going to see this guy again.
I
So,
know.
huge, a legend in the making in one tournament. But yeah, a bunch of studs that we're no longer going to see. But hopefully, we see them working with the national teams in the future.
Yeah, no, Vozinha, man, that's a big one for real. Talk about taking the opportunity that you're given and really making the most of it, right? That entire team, right, which I'm sure we're going to touch on here in a bit. Modric, though, obviously made the final of the World Cup with Croatia. True
Mhm.
underdog story that year. They were a great team. They fell a little bit short to France, but Luka Modric, an absolute legend, and I think one that you remember well. Memo Ochoa played his sixth World Cup this year, right? Along with, I believe it was Messi, Ronaldo as well, 6 World Cups. And you can never, ever, 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 I'll say it again, ever, ever forget that game against Brazil, I believe it
Brazil.
was, right? The wall of whatever they called him. He had a nickname that game and it was absolutely deserved. The guy was he was a fucking 35-foot wall, man, on an 8 foot tall goal.
I didn't want to mention him, right? Because I didn't want to be biased. So I'm glad you're giving my guy
Oh,
some
dude.
lights. But in Mexico, we have this saying, "Que me lo meten a mí y no Ochoa." So what that means is you can score on me, but don't score on him, right?
Yeah, yeah, you
So
can't.
yeah, man. End of an era. Definitely, arguably one of the best goalkeepers Mexico has ever seen.
Hmm.
Didn't have the best stints in Europe. He is always playing for a bottom of the table teams or mid
Yeah.
level teams, but the thing is, he was always consistent and he always came through. So, shout out to Guillermo Memo Ochoa. We're gonna miss you,
Mhm.
big dog,
Yep.
and on to better things.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. I'm sure we're going to see a lot of these guys in their national team setups, assistant coaching, probably as managers here in the future. Um, but yeah, man, 6 World Cups for some of these guys. What an honor to watch them all play. It's definitely exciting. Okay, moving on, Marco. Look, FIFA team of the tournament. FIFA released their team of the tournament, and I'd say it's pretty spot on, right? But I think there could be a few notable mentions here. But first, let's just go over this. They gave out a 4-3-3 formation, right?
Mm.
Their goalie, the one and only, the legend of this World Cup, Vozinha. Okay. 4 defenders, left back, Cucurella, Upamecano, center defense, Lisandro Martinez, Pedro Porro on the right. Okay. Center mids, Bellingham, Rodri, and Olise. Salt. That's pretty strong.
Yeah, it's
And then
pretty solid.
up top, we got on the left Messi, down the middle Holland, and on the right Mbappe. Okay. What are your thoughts on that, man? I see a few names, notable mentions, I would say, that maybe got left out, maybe some changes I would make. I don't know. What do you think? Who do you think should have maybe made this?
Honestly, I'm gonna just give you the floor. I'm not really gonna argue the starting lineup. I mean, this starting lineup is pretty strong.
It is.
Maybe the goalkeeper, right? Bozinha. Yes, he had some solid performances. Yes, he was outstanding for his team. But at the end of the day, I would have liked to go with the keeper that won the World Cup,
Yeah.
or even give it to Debo Martinez, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He was outstanding in the final, 11 saves.
Yeah.
Shout out to Bozinha for what he did, and he put his country on his back. But if I was to change someone, it'd be the goalkeeper.
Okay. No, I could see that, and I thought the same. Unai Simon definitely. Don't just keep 7 clean sheets. Although
Mhm.
some would probably argue he had a good team in front of him. He didn't have to do much, but when he did have to do something, he did it. Emi Martinez. I mean, that was a massive final for him. Obviously, didn't go good for Argentina, but that guy was. You can call him a Memo Ochoa that game. You know what I mean? When I look at this lineup, I think maybe a Kubarsi, right?
Yeah.
I think Kubarsi can maybe slide in there. Although Upamecano, Lisandro Martinez, again, they did
Solid.
well. They did solid,
Solid.
man. In the center mid, I love it. Olise, Rodri, Bellingham. The only person I'd maybe put as a substitute, you can call it, I'd throw in, I don't know, man. Elliot Anderson for England did really good. Um, when you think of just, Enzo Fernandez did well this tournament, except for the final. That
Nah,
was disaster. I know you're not a fan. Um, but yeah, man, center mids. I think they pretty much nailed it with Bellingham, Rodri, and Elise, man. Up top, Messi, undeniable. Holland, come on. Mbappe, come on. He is the World Cup. You know what I mean? Any substitutes up top? Let me think. Maybe a Dembele. I don't know if he had the best tournament. Lamine didn't have the best tournament, right? Ronaldo, I mean, did he have the best
nah.
tournament?
I wouldn't put Ronaldo in. Let's put my boy Quinones in there, baby.
I like
He
that.
was he was lights
Yeah.
out for Mexico, man. Let's put my guy Quinones in there. Maybe as a second sub, not the first one off the bench. I mean, let's give my guy some shine. Who came in as a eighth best attacker
Mm-hmm.
of the FIFA World Cup. So just to give my Colombian dual national Mexican citizen
Yeah.
uh, Julian Quinones,
Would you say he was Mexico's MVP this tournament?
Mexico's MVP.
Mexico's MVP. I love it. I love it. Yeah, man. This center mid though, Bellingham, Rodri, Elise. I mean, as I close this out, you can't pick a better midfield than that. I don't think, to be completely honest. Okay, Marco, let's move on to something fun here. Right, goal of the tournament. There's a lot of goals, right? Whether it was a game they lost, a game they won, whatever it was, maybe the meaning behind the goal, the magnitude of it. What do you have in mind for that goal of the tournament?
Goal of the tournament, and I did not want to butcher his name, so I'm gonna say it.
Do it. Butcher it.
Sidney Lopez Cabral. Golazo,
Yeah.
golazo against Argentina.
Yep.
Man, my favorite goal. And a close second, for me, a close second is Julian Alvarez's banger of a goal as well.
Yes. That was amazing, that one too. But the one from Cape Verde, man, the
Yeah.
fact that they could even put goals up against Argentina, and not only just a goal, I mean, that was an absolute screamer. I believe it was like 2-1, and they tied the game with that goal. So, I
Yep.
mean, it was late in the game. I mean, crazy game to watch. That might have been one of the games of the tournaments, honestly, for me. Another notable mention on my side was that third and fourth place game, dude. Bellingham
I
picked
was,
up the
yep.
ball. Yeah, picked up the ball at half, took that shit all the way to the goal, came in across, cut across, slotted it home for the sixth goal for England, which is a wild number. But yeah, man, lot of goals. I remember Haiti had a great goal this tournament. Mbappe hit a banger too in one of these games.
Also, honorable mention for my guy from Sweden, Yassine Ayari. He had a brace
Mm.
against Tunisia, and
Yeah.
both goals were bangers.
Yeah, Holland's second goal versus Brazil as well. When they knocked Brazil out, that was a good one as well. Wow, there's a lot, man. There's a lot to remember on. And watching those, like trying to do research on it, man, you really like. I forgot a lot of them. There's so many games, it's like you just forget. But I have to say, yeah, Capo Verde's goal against Argentina, I think, takes number one spot.
Without a
Biggest
doubt.
biggest flop, biggest flop this tournament. Team that came in absolutely had high hopes, just did not deliver whatsoever. What do you got?
So I have two things. I want to give you the
Okay.
biggest flop in my opinion because of the
Okay.
expectations and how they have performed the previous World Cup. And I'm going to give you the biggest attacking flop. Which one
Oh,
do
I
you want
like
first?
this. Ooh, I want the attacking flop, and then we'll do team.
Uruguay. They had nothing up top.
Oh, that's a good
Zero.
one.
Zero. Nothing. They couldn't get it going, right? Darwin, no matter who was up there. Bielsa, you're a smart guy. But those guys you had up there, man, they did you guys no justice.
None.
Uruguay, I'm sorry, didn't have the best World Cup. Even Valverde, man, I don't know. He was off. Maybe he was tired from a long season with Real Madrid. But
Yeah.
man, they just did not have anything up top. So that's my attacking flop. And for my national team, I'm gonna go with Turkey A.
Oh,
Right?
yeah.
We definitely thought these guys were gonna get out the group, go deep in the knockout stages. They have just consistently they've been playing together for a while, the same group, and they have a young talent, right? In Ardra. So I don't know. That was my biggest flop for me. What about you,
Yeah.
Anto?
Yeah, just real quick on Turkey, man, that was a shock. Seeing Montella coach them, qualify for the World Cup after so many years. Arda Güler, Yildiz, Shalanoglu, it's like they really under-delivered big time. Like, didn't even make it out of the group. Um, But yeah, for me, man, when I think of like biggest flop, not necessarily as they were like a tournament favorite to win, but in general, I'd have to. I forgot about Uruguay. I'm glad you brought them up because I'd say that was a pretty massive flop in every single sense of the word. But for me, I think Germany was terrible. Round of 32. I mean, they lost Leonard Carl right before the World Cup started. Big player for Bayern, young kid.
The
But
last tournament, they also got eliminated early
mhm.
on.
It's just not expected, man. Germany's usually one of those teams that makes it to like at least the quarters, like really puts up a fight, but they just, man, they lost to Paraguay on penalties, man. So I mean, talk about a disappointing tournament for Germany. When we go now next, we're gonna go over some managers. We saw Nagelsmann leave. We'll get to that, but also Brazil, man. I know they weren't favorites. This isn't like 2002 Brazil. This isn't any special Brazil necessarily, but Brazil, man, is Brazil. You know, they have an absolute squad. They left João Pedro at home. They made some questionable decisions. Ancelotti did, and ended up falling to Norway, right? Who was the better team that day, fair and square. So, yeah, I think Brazil definitely was one of the biggest flops this tournament. Germany, who? What do you got?
Portugal. Let's not forget about
Portugal.
Portugal. Nothing
Yes.
but all stars on the team. Vitinha, Joe Neves, Fernandez, right? And Ronaldo up top, right? They
Yeah.
just I don't know, man. Uh a lot of the games that they won weren't spectacular either. They were barely winning those games.
Yeah.
So that's another flop that we can throw in there because of the talent that they were carrying into the World Cup.
Yeah. I mean, arguably the best midfield in the world, everyone's saying, right? And I mean, justifiably so, right? Like they have literally have Vitinha, João Neves, Bruno Fernandes, best player in the Premier League, two Champions League winners with PSG. Their defense too is like solid, man. You know what I mean? They have Diaz, they have Nuno
Viega.
Mendes, Viega. I mean, they have a solid squad, bro. They have João Cancelo, João Felix, all these guys.
And coming
Ronaldo, they have
and
Leao. I
coming
mean,
yeah, I was gonna say coming off the bench, Leao, Ramos,
yeah,
but I don't know if how much more you want to touch in on the biggest flops of teams, but I think now that we're talking about segue, we have a perfect opportunity to
yeah.
segue into the biggest flop in the coaches. And I
Oh
think
yeah.
Portugal has one, bro.
You think they had one? Or do you know they had one?
100% no, they had one.
They had one, man. Roberto Martinez. What is this guy's problem, bro? He's killing Belgium. He killed Portugal. And he just leaves, head held high. It just didn't work out. Gonna get another job, make another bag, and ruin another team, man. What was he doing, man? What is that guy? Why do people hire him? Why do you think people even hire that guy anymore?
I don't know, man. But at club level, maybe. But we can't live in the past. We need to
No,
get results now. But I don't
he's
know.
out.
Maybe they just thought it just didn't work out with Belgium, and it would work over here with Portugal. But unfortunately,
Yeah. Didn't.
um, it didn't. And I think he was. We've had these conversations. He was afraid to make certain adjustments, certain substitutions when they were needed because of the
Yeah.
big names, Ronaldo on the pitch,
Hmm.
right? So
Yeah.
if you're unable to make those calls, then what are you doing in the World Cup in charge of a nation?
Yeah, especially a big one like that, man. You gotta have the skill, I guess, as a manager to just pull the trigger when you need to. If it's Ronaldo, if it doesn't matter who it is, man, your team needs to win. There's no time. This isn't a 38 week season. Like this is like win or go home. But yeah, man, Roberto Martinez out. No new names up for Portugal yet. Zlatko Dalic for Croatia. Truly, Modric is out. It's the end of a generation, end of a run for real. He's out. Scaloni stepping down when his contract runs out in January for Argentina. Obviously, Messi retires. I think Argentina is going to look completely different. So we'll see what happens there with them. Nagelsmann for Germany, right? We saw him step down. I think that was the right move. But we see Jurgen Klopp coming in, which is, I think, a bit of an upgrade. I think. What do you think?
Huge upgrade. And I
Yeah.
think Portugal does have a coach already.
Who'd they get?
I don't know him on the top of my mind,
Okay.
but he previously used to coach Al Nassr with Ronaldo on the squad in the Saudi league. So
Oh, I think it's that
uh,
Portuguese guy with the long hair,
yeah,
the saucy white
yeah,
hair. What
yeah,
is
yeah,
that guy's name, dude?
Mr.
White,
Whitehair.
white-haired Portuguese coach Watch this Google search right here. It's going to yield results. I can guarantee it. Right here in three, two. I mean, look at that. Jorge Jesus.
Jorge Jesus, two first names. Let's go.
That's the two first names, dude. So we'll see what that guy can do. Hope I think he'll probably be better than Roberto Martinez. So yeah, man, Jurgen Klopp, massive signing. I think he's going to do well with Germany. He's a players coach. I think he has a good relationship with the players. He's one of those guys, knows how to get the most out of them. Bielsa, I mean, I don't think we were very shocked with that, right? That was a
I
failure in every sense.
I don't think any other nation should experiment with Bielsa. Like that's old school. It used to work. It no longer works. That
Mm-hmm.
hardcore coaching style. You do what I tell you. I'm not going to listen to how you're feeling. I mean, even I don't know if you heard the leaks during the tournament that the Uruguayan players had sat down and were complaining like, "Hey, we're training way too hard
Yeah, man.
for this tournament." So that old school mentality, I don't think works anymore, especially with how young the game is getting.
Yeah,
Younger and younger players. I mean, look at France. I mean, look at Gilmora, Al Draguler,
yeah, yeah.
the kid from Morocco,
Mm-hmm.
Kubarsi, right? All these kids, that old school mentality is not going to work with these guys.
Doesn't work,
You're
dude.
gonna break them before you can make them into something.
It doesn't work, man. And there was like that whole transition period where social media phones kind of blew up. And I think some of these older coaches kind of struggled with sort of adapting to the new age. And their sort of, you can call them rules or strict rules in the locker room, don't sit well with these guys, man. And that sort of, you sort of got to be homies with the players in a sense, right? And I think that's kind of what works these days. Have a clear line of I'm the manager, you're the player, but also you got to be chill with the guys, man. You're looking at Lamine.
Mhm.
These guys are 19 years old, right? It's not like 1990 anymore, where it's you're the young guy in the locker room. You put your head down and get to work, and you listen. You do what everyone says. Nowadays, it's kind of softened a little bit, maybe in that sense. But Bielsa is not the guy for anybody at this point, I don't think. But with him going out, we see Diego Forlan, right? A
Yep.
legend for Uruguay. He's the U20 coach. He's stepping in as the interim manager. And you see this happen sometimes where interim managers come in and they end up doing like really well actually. So I think I could see this maybe moving into a full-time position possibly. I don't know. That'd be kind of cool to see. I
As
mean, I
long
remember
as long as they have the patience.
yeah, dude, you can't
As long as
force
they
it.
have the
You can't
patience.
expect it and go win the Copa America in 2 years or anything. You got to give this guy some time. But man, what a legend from 2010. Let's just take it back real quick. Diego Forlan, what a beast, man. They had Suarez, Cavani. That team,
Mhm.
that was the Uruguay. I remember. That's Uruguay in my opinion. And then right here we saw Belgium, Rudy Garcia, right? Another old school style of coach. Didn't work out. Belgium, right? Their golden generations. De Bruyne is out. I think Lukaku's probably out. It's time for a revamp and how they do things in the squad and everything. But we see Mark van Bommel, Dutch legend, Bayern Munich, AC Milan coming in. I don't know what his coaching experience is like, but obviously for a team like Belgium to look at Van Bommel and think, okay, you're the guy. They obviously saw something in him, so I think that's a pretty interesting hire.
Well, well, you know what? Defensive players end up being offensive coaches and vice versa.
Yeah,
So we'll see.
that's a
But
good point.
let's also not forget about France. The shops is out, and
Oh
word on
yeah,
the street is Zidane is going to take over the reins until 2030. So that's an interesting one. But
yeah,
you've said it best. Zidane has came into some great teams with Real Madrid. So
hmm
this time we'll be able to see. I mean, he does have a lot of great athletes, but we'll be able to see if
right.
he's able to mold something and to carry into the next World Cup.
Yeah, that's. I was just gonna say that Zidane's picked up. He picked up an amazing Real Madrid team. He won 3 Champions Leagues with them. I mean, France is obviously a star-studded squad. So I mean, you're coming into another good team. We'll see if he could do the same thing with France. And now moving into the Euros, probably the next World Cup. We'll see what they can do. And then notable mention for managers, knowing that I am the biggest Italy fan there's been rumors around town. Italy's looking for a coach. They came in contact with Ancelotti recently, Pirlo, but a big name, man. Pep Guardiola, right? What an amazing coach that would be. I was telling you yesterday, I'm a big fan of national teams hiring the same nationality of coach, and I'm all for it. But since those aren't the rules, I'd be pretty happy with a guy like Pep Guardiola. I think he's asking for too much money though. They're not going to want to pay it. Still up in the air, but I thought that was a good notable mention because I want to
Pay
see
the man what he wants.
they need
Pay
to,
him.
man. It's now or never. You don't. It's been 3 World Cups now. It's been
No
you don't
more,
got.
no more not qualifying.
This is
It,
crazy,
it needs
man.
to stop.
How do you have 4 stars on your jersey and you don't even show up for 16 years? This is crazy, man. I'm like, I don't even know where to start with Italy. That's a whole nother discussion for a different episode. But yeah, news is develop. It's a developing story. We'll touch on it in the future when we get some news for that.
But
Yeah.
real quick, I would not be upset if Ancelotti's able to get out of his contract with Brazil because he had signed an
Yes.
extension, and
Yes.
he ends up finally coaching
Where he should have
Latsura,
been. It's where
right?
he should have been the whole time.
So
Yeah.
I would like to see that. I think I think he knows how to manage players versus the talent, right?
Yes.
Just like quick segue, Phil Jackson with Dennis Rodman. Dennis Rodman was a loose cannon, right?
Right.
But he's one of those guys that you just had to let him go do his own thing. Let him go to Vegas. He'll come back and he'll be here for the game. And I
Yeah.
think that's what Ancelotti knows how to do. He did it well with the superstars everywhere he's been.
Yep.
He's been at the biggest clubs except for Everton. Sorry, my Everton peeps.
That's a
Love you
fact,
guys.
though. Yeah.
But it didn't work out over there. And then he came back to Real Madrid and he won another Champions League.
Yeah. No, Ancelotti's he's arguably the GOAT right now when it comes to managers, right, of all time. He's really good at just letting players express themselves, not trying to change how they play and let them just play to their strengths. And I think that's ultimately what a good manager does. You can't change a player. If they play a certain way, you got to let them do that. You just got to put
Mm-hmm.
the team together in a way where you get the most out of them, right? So yeah, if they get him, if Italy picks him up, I'd be pretty fucking stoked about that too. But yeah, man, a little fun one here, right? Talking about the World Cup. Another World Cup ended 2026. 4 more years. We got the Euros coming up, got a lot coming up. But now we want to dive into, Premier League, La Liga. All these leagues are heating up, getting ready. But yesterday, the second half of the MLS season has started, right? Earthquakes were on a winning streak, undefeated streak. They were killing it, man. We go to yesterday, we see San Jose Earthquakes versus Orlando City. Antoine Griezmann, French legend, Barcelona, Atletico Madrid, come in there. Orlando City stomped them out 4-0, man. 4-0, Marco. Now, the people don't know this. We know this. Look, I've been to 10, 15 games in my life, Earthquakes. I've yet to see them win a single game. Okay. They were on a winning streak. Me and Marco were like, yeah, bro, we should go to a game. They're doing well. Stadium looks full. As soon as we start going, look what's going on. Look what's going on. So I don't know if it's me. I don't want to believe it is, but I'm going to stop going to games for this next month or two, and we're going to see if the script gets flipped. But yeah, man, overall, Earthquakes, they lose 4-0. I mean, what did you see yesterday at that game? It just did not look like a good team performance at all. Just flat out.
I didn't see a whole lot.
Yeah.
They were red hot going into the World Cup break, and I just think the break was too long.
Yeah.
Right? It's like sizzling a nice steak. You reverse seared it, you take it out, you throw some butter on top, let it sit for 5 minutes. You cut into it. Well, the steak never got cut in too.
Oh,
It just
God.
sat there. It just
Tell
sat
them.
there. It just sat there. And look what happened, man. They just did not have a whole lot going on. I wanted to see Vieira get a little bit more involved, but
Yes.
I don't know. The Quakes just weren't playing the ball through the middle. You
Yeah.
could see Timo Werner getting frustrated.
Yeah.
But you made a good point yesterday. He was more so expecting the ball versus creating chances and opportunities like Griezmann was on his
Right.
first official game with Orlando City. He was all over the place. He got on the scoring sheet. I don't know. Maybe it's Orlando City getting pumped because Antoine Griezmann is on the squad and they go into San Jose, PayPal Park on a nice windy night and they beat the Quakes 4-0 and they're on a high. And then later on in a couple weeks, we're going to see who the real Orlando City is that they're really bottom of the table team.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
hopefully this is a reset for the Quakes. It's a gut check and
Yeah.
scratch it. I'd rather have this loss early in the season versus later on. So let's take the L and move on to next week.
Yeah, I agree, man. I agree. They weren't there last night, Earthquakes, man. Terrible. People were leaving before the game even ended, right? It was one of those games. Bo LaRue, Timo Werner, yeah, Marco's one of them. I was one of them. Bo LaRue, Timo Werner, Ronald Vieira, Buda. Obviously, Shakiris has been out with injury. Preston Judd was not firing. You know, they have a good team. You can see that they do play well when they play well, but Bruce Arena is probably pretty pissed about the performance. Whether he goes into the press conference, it doesn't seem like it. That was unacceptable last night. So going forward, look, we're going to see how the rest of the season goes. I'm excited to
Let's
follow
not forget
along.
about the goalie. Let's not forget
Oh,
about the goalie,
Angus
the
Gunn,
World
Angus
Cup
Gunn.
goalie from Scotland. Let Anto give it to him.
Yeah, everybody is thinking the same thing right now. Why did we get rid of Daniel? Established player, did so well with the Earthquakes, right? We thought he was the number one. Got sold to Dallas. Like I don't know why. I don't know why these MLS teams do this, man. They get their best player and they just ship him off. Christian Espinoza. They just forgot to extend his contract or whatever they did. I mean, and they bring in Angus Gunn on paper. Looks great. Scottish goalkeeper, number one. Played at the World Cup, so on and so forth. Yesterday, it looked like a Sunday League goalkeeper out there. I mean, it was terrible performance, bro. So, I mean, look, I was looking online. Everyone's saying the same shit. Why do we get rid of Daniel? Like, I know this is Gunn's first game. Hopefully, he gets his shit together, right? He's a professional, obviously. He's a world class goalkeeper, played in the World Cup. I get it. But, dude, you cannot do that. You cannot play like that, right? So I'll be the first to say on behalf of all Earthquakes fans, I miss Daniel. The guy said what's up to me when we were like field side. I waved at him. He said, "What's up, dude?" Like he was cool. Had a great game that day. So I don't know why you get rid of such a club legend, right? I don't understand. But look, man, moving forward, we're gonna touch on that some more. We're gonna follow on the Earthquakes. We're gonna touch on some of the transfer rumors leading up to La Liga, Premier League, Serie A. And we're gonna throw in sprinkle in some fun episodes until those leagues sort of get started, man. But we just wanted to come on here, throw up a little fun World Cup episode now that it's finished. If you enjoyed this episode, if you enjoyed listening to this podcast, if you made it here to the end, we appreciate it. Go to project90soccer.com. You can find all of our links, Instagram, TikTok, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. We really appreciate all the support. Leave a comment, like, do your thing. And yeah, man, another episode of Project 90. Marco, any last words?
Peace.
Peace.